Hi, good morning. Today we're going to be talking about the Java array data structure. It's one of the more basic data structures. It's a fundamental part of Java, and it's something you should definitely be used to using and working with inside Java. It's a little bit special though, so we've got a couple things we want to make sure we talk about. As you can see, we've got some quick little notes we want to make sure we address here as we work and talk about the actual Java data structure. The first thing we have to make sure we do is we talk about how the fact that the Java data structure is very fixed in size. It's static in its length. So that'd be an example of a single row Lego piece like this, where it just has a set of rows right there, and it doesn't matter if it's vertical or horizontal, that doesn't really matter. It's just a single set of values stored in a fixed amount right here, like that. It's like right here, the number of lines on a piece of paper. Those lines don't change. It's always that number of lines, no matter which page of paper you're looking at. It's always the same amount. Or the number of pages inside a book. The book pages themselves, they're all right there. And unless you're really horrible and you destroy books, it's going to stay the same. So it's just like that. So again, an array is a fixed size. Once you decide how big it's going to be, it's always that big. And that's the way an array works. The next thing we have is Java's arrays are a little bit special. Unlike other things, when you say, you're going to say, and you call the constructor, it has the parentheses where you initialize the any parameters, anything you send to it. We don't have a traditional constructor call is a Java array. Instead, we only use the square bracket notation or subscript notation when we were talking about that. And so there's not really anything like that. And on top of that, there's not a keyword for it. Java arrays they're really special. They don't have a word for them. We have the symbol square brackets, but that's it. So we can't really call an array constructor because there's not really a keyword for it. One even more important thing, there are no methods to the Java array. There's nothing it can do. It doesn't act like an object. It simply holds values. And so you can't call anything on it. All you can simply do is either put things in or replace things. You can access them or replace them. That's it. There's nothing else. There's no parens actually we're going to even be using at all. A Java array is just there. It holds stuff. It doesn't do anything. Next thing is how we're going to get the bigness. Now this is one of the things that's a little bit different. When we're talking about an array, we talk about the array's name and then we do its dot length. Notice the fact that right here, no parens at all. We're not calling a method on the array. We're asking it, how big are you? And it returns a static final value of its length. Because it's just going to say how big it is. It's just its length. There's no actual methods at all. Again, we just ask it how big it is, and it gives us a public data member that can't be changed. We also have two options we can access the content. So you can either retrieve a value or you can replace a value. There is no other action it can do. It's simply just retrieve or replace. And the way we work that is just the relationship of these square brackets and the equal sign. That's the only way to tell the difference as to if you're retrieving or replacing values. And unlike some of the other data structures inside Java, we don't get anything back when we replace a value. There's no return that comes back. It simply just replaces it, or we can access it. That's it. There's nothing that comes back from operations inside it. So a Java array is very special. So just as a quick review, again, when we're talking about Java arrays, they're a special part of data structure holding Java. A data structure in Java that can hold a fixed amount of things, like the number of lines on a page, the number of pages in a book, or if you're talking a single row Lego piece, the number of little socket things on the top. So it can only hold a fixed amount of things as you're doing it, and it doesn't have any special things like methods or things that can do on top of that. It simply just holds values. Take a look again at some of the other videos, and we'll see how we can use arrays and do some more stuff with it. Thanks.